Hello, ladies. Come on in. I am so excited for today because we're going to talk about how to plan all those details that you need for your wedding so you can enjoy every single moment of it. So this training is for you if you just want the perfect dream wedding so you can relax and have fun and enjoy your magical day. Because right now, I know that you're either just starting out your planning, you have no idea where to start, you've never planned a wedding before, right? And maybe you don't have the help or the guidance that you want, and everyone is telling you what you should do, and it's overwhelming you, it has you frustrated, and it's so much noise that you can't even hear yourself think. Y'all feeling me on that? And all you want to do is to create your perfect stress-free day. The day that you have dreamed about, maybe since you were a little girl, the day that you get to glorify God and celebrate this union, this perfect union that He is creating between the two of you. And this is the space where I am going to help you create that, okay? I'm gonna show you how you can not only feel like your perfect wedding planner, but I actually want to give you the tools and the knowledge that you need today. And that's what today is all about, okay? So does that sound good? Just say, let's do this. Type, let's do this in the chat if you're ready. So I do want to just reward you guys at the end of this training, just for hanging out with me today. And for those of you who are ready to just dive deeper and get your dream wedding no matter what, I have a bonus for you. And it is my absolutely nothing missed checklist. 9 glorious pages of every single thing that you need to buy, bring, and have for your wedding day. So if you are wondering, oh, I feel like I'm missing something, this is for you. So make sure to stick around until the end of this training so you can find out how to get your hands on it, okay? All right. Who loves Say Yes to the Dress? You love this show, just type say yes so I know that I'm not the only one who's obsessed with this show. So we're going to do a contest, okay? Let's say Randy comes up to you and he says, hey, we want to give a bride her dream dress for free. And the way that you're going to win this contest is if you plan the best wedding. So there's 3 types of weddings that you can plan, okay? So the first type, the nightmare wedding. This is the wedding where everything goes terribly wrong. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Maybe your vendors come late, or maybe they don't even show up. Maybe you spill something on your dress. You feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to put out all of these fires, and you're a mess. Like by the end of the night, you hate it. Like it goes terribly. And you're like, why did I not just elope? So that's the first type that you could plan. The second type of wedding is the I wish wedding. And this is where at the end of the night, you are so happy to finally be married to your best friend. But as you think back on the day, there were so many things that you wish were different. Maybe you wish that you had a different dress. Maybe you wish that you had gone with a different venue. Maybe you wish that your decorations were different, okay? So yes, you're happy to be married, but there's just that thing in your stomach, like in your heart, like, oh, I wish this was different. I wish that this had gone better. But the third type of wedding that you could plan is your perfect dream wedding. Girl, this is the wedding where you are literally walking on cloud 9 the entire day. Like you feel like a beautiful princess. You get your day to shine. You get your day to be in the spotlight. And when you drive off in your going away car, you think, wow, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Like everything went perfectly. So I want to know which type of wedding you want. Do you want 1, the nightmare wedding? And put it in the chat if you want 1, 2, or 3. You want 1, the nightmare wedding, 2, the I wish wedding, or 3, your perfect dream wedding? Let me know in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing some 3s. Awesome. So if we haven't met, it is so nice to meet you. I'm Chelsea, and I help brides plan their perfect dream weddings and stay far, far away from those nightmare weddings and I wish weddings, okay? And the way that I help all my brides get to that perfect dream wedding is through the Dream Wedding Way. And this is a method that I created myself that plans all the details that you need for you. So all you have to do is simply show up on your wedding day and not worry about a thing. So you just told me that you want your perfect dream wedding. I know that, and you know that. So today, let's figure out what perfect means for you, and let's make it happen in as little time and stress and money and all of that as possible. Does that sound good? I am so excited to do this. It's gonna be great. So I see brides making these 3 mistakes all the time, okay? They're either giving them the nightmare weddings or the I wish weddings. And I want to go through these mistakes with you because you're probably making them too. And I want to tell you what you can do instead to turn those around so that we can get you to that perfect dream wedding, okay? So if you are a note taker, get out that pen, get out that paper. Here we go. Mistake number 1. I see so many brides planning someone else's perfect wedding instead of their own perfect wedding. I want to know who here is a people pleaser. Just put people pleaser in the chat. I am right there with you. You want to make other people happy. You're worried about what they think. The struggle is real. So let's actually play this out in a specific scenario, okay? Just hypothetical. So let's say it is your day to finally go dress shopping, okay? You are so excited. You can't wait to try on all these beautiful dresses. And you find this drop-dead gorgeous dress that makes you feel so good and so sexy and so like a bride, and you love it. You cannot wait to go show everyone that's out there, like out of the dressing room, right? So you walk out there to your mom, your sister, your bridesmaids who are there with a huge smile. You can't wait to hear their reactions. And then they start giving their opinions. Your mom doesn't think it's bridal enough. Maybe your sister thinks it should have more lace. Your bridesmaids are like, oh, that's not the style that you wanted. Are you sure that you want that? So you start to second guess. And you start to question and you start to think, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't my dream dress. Or yeah, maybe I should listen to them and go to other places first. And then before you know it, you end up buying a dress that you later regret getting just because you let their thoughts come into your mind. And it's the same for everything else, right? Like maybe you're thinking, oh, I would never do that, or this didn't happen for me in my dress. But what if it's happening with your colors? Like other people are giving you opinions on your venue, on your centerpieces, on the food that you should have, right? And I just want to ask you, how would you feel on your wedding day if you weren't happy in the dress that you got? If you weren't happy with your venue, if you weren't happy with your colors? And if you chose different colors just because of what people said, or you chose a different venue because of what other people thought, or you chose a wedding dress because other people said it looked more like a bride, and you didn't actually listen to what you wanted. And then when you get those pictures back, you're so disappointed. You didn't feel you in that wedding dress. You didn't like how that venue looked. You wish that those colors had been different, that you had gone with the colors that you wanted. You would feel terrible. You would totally have an I wish or a nightmare wedding instead of getting the perfect dream wedding that you wanted. So this is what we need to do. Instead of listening to other people's opinions and focusing so much on trying to make them happy, girl, you need to be stepping into your bride power, okay? You need to be stepping into a space where you feel so confident in knowing and going after what you want, where you hear your voice so clearly and it doesn't just get tuned out or confused by everyone else's opinions, because this is your day. This is not anyone else's. And when you let other people influence your wedding day, and when you base your decisions off of what other people want instead of yourself, you're really planning someone else's wedding. But that is not going to give you your perfect dream wedding. You're feeling so many shoulds right now, like everything that your mom and your sister and your mother-in-law and your maid of honor are saying, the things you see on Pinterest, what other brides are doing and saying about your ideas, like all of it is just noise, and it is drowning out your own voice, your own heart, like what you actually want your perfect dream wedding to be. You feel like you have to do all these things, and you feel like you have to people please your way through it. Like, when I planned my wedding, I was so worried about being selfish. It's like, well, if I do what I want to do, then I'm just being selfish. Like, I'm not being loving, I'm not being caring. But I didn't realize it isn't about being selfish at all. Because it is not just about the flowers or the cake or the dress. It is about something so much more. You know what that something more is? It is about the covenant that you are making with yourself and your future husband and the Lord. Because your wedding planning is the first thing that you are doing as you walk into that union as husband and wife. And when you make decisions based on what other people want, when you let other people influence what is actually best for you and your fiance, guess what you are doing? You are putting them over your marriage. You are putting them over the Lord, because he calls us in marriage to put our marriage above everything else. God comes first and then our marriage, and that's it. And when you don't set those boundaries now with other people and you don't know how to keep those boundaries, it's going to keep going in your marriage. It's just going to get harder. But when you finally step into your bride power, when you finally give yourself permission to have the wedding that you want, when you finally realize that it's not you being selfish and that you actually get to have the wedding that is best for you and your fiance, that is what's going to allow you to have your perfect dream wedding. That is when you are going to have permission and feel that permission to have the wedding that you want. So today, let's give you a space where you can fully and confidently step into your bride power and stand up for your perfect wedding. So do you want your bride power? Put bride power in the chat, because that is exactly what we're going to do with the Dream Wedding Way, which we'll go into later today. All right. Woo! Mistake number 2. Okay. Looking at someone else's budget to figure out what you should be spending. So I see so many brides Google, what is the average cost for a venue? Or what's the average cost for a caterer? Or they go to Facebook groups and say like, hey, I got this quote from my florist, but I don't know if I'm overspending. Like, what did everyone else pay for flowers or for venue? Like, what's an average cost for these things? Well, I went out and got the average cost for all of you. You're welcome. But first, before I show you, let's play a fun game, okay? So I want you to guess in the chat. Just put your guess in the chat. What do you think couples spend on average for a wedding venue all over the U.S.? What do you think? Put your guess in the chat. Okay, $5,000. Great, keep guessing. $7,000. $10,500 is the average cost that all couples in the U.S. spend on their venue. What about food and drink? What do you think? So this includes alcohol as well, if you have alcohol. You could do either the total cost for 100 people or per person. $3,000, all right. $10,000. $7,000. So $7,000 for 100 guests, or $70 a person per plate. What about flowers? How much do you think couples spend for flowers? For both the ceremony, so like the bouquets, the boutonnieres, and for the reception, all the centerpieces and stuff. All right, $1,500, $5,000, actually $2,000, which for me, I was shocked because y'all, flowers are not cheap. Like for this right here, just this piece right here at the altar would probably be $2,000 to $3,000, depending on how high that actually is, because there's a lot of flowers. So that's like $2,000 to $3,000. This bouquet right here is probably between $200 to $300. Okay, so they are not cheap at all. So $33,900 is the average total cost that couples spend in total on their wedding. And here is a list of all the items, everything that you would need to spend. So screenshot it if you need. But $33,900, all of that broken up for you. Okay, average cost. And maybe you're looking at these numbers and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I want to vomit. Or maybe you're like, oh, that's actually not as bad as I thought. But here is the thing. The cost for everyone is so different because it depends on your specific budget. It depends on your specific priorities. And it depends on what you and your fiance want for your wedding day. These numbers really mean nothing when you get down to it. Like, it is all relative. So let's take two budgets from two of my brides, Mercedes and Charlie Ann, okay? So Mercedes, she spent about $2,500 on her venue. She spent $500 on her DJ, $650 on her photographer. Charlie Ann spent $6,000 on her venue, $1,250 for a DJ, and $7,000 for a photographer. So with all the expenses, not just these, but all of them, Mercedes spent $9,000, Charlie Ann spent $40,000, okay? So you might be asking, like, why the big price difference? Like, why did Mercedes get a DJ for $500, but Charlie Ann had to spend $1,250? So let me explain. So for DJs and with any other vendor, it depends on multiple factors, okay? So it depends on location, like a wedding in New York is way more expensive than a wedding in Texas, right? It depends on the amount of services that's included in the package that you get. And then there's like the experience and professionalism from the vendor, from the company that you hire. So Mercedes, spending $500 on her DJ, she hired someone that did not DJ full time. Like, he had a complete full-time job during the week that was separate from his DJing. He only DJ'd on the weekends. He didn't do just weddings. He did all types of events. So he could actually afford to charge lower. But she also didn't have like any cool lights, and she didn't really care if people were out on the dance floor, which was a really good thing because there wasn't anybody out on the dance floor. And her DJ just kind of sat back and played music and didn't really interact much with the guests. Charlie Ann, on the other hand, her DJ was amazing. Like, he only DJ'd full time, only did weddings, okay? He had the whole dance floor packed, lights going everywhere. The guests had like the glow dance sticks in their hands, just pumping it up. He interacted so well with everyone. Like, it was a party, and it was amazing. So am I saying that Mercedes hired a bad DJ? Not at all. And here's why. Because Mercedes hired a DJ that was great for her priorities, for her budget, and for her style. And then Charlie Ann did the same thing for her. She hired a great DJ that met her priorities, her budget, and her style. But if Mercedes had had Charlie Ann's wedding, would she have had her perfect dream wedding? No, not at all. And what if Charlie Ann compared like her wedding to Mercedes, and she was like, oh, I'm like really overspending on a DJ. I should look for a cheaper DJ. Would she have had her perfect dream wedding? No, she would have hated it. There would be no one on the dance floor. People would leave early. It would totally not be the style that she wanted, like the in the club but not in the club. She would have had a really dead club. Okay, because they had different budgets, they had different styles, they had different priorities, and they got the DJ and the vendors that were best for them, okay? Mercedes had her perfect dream wedding. Charlie Ann had her perfect dream wedding. And what I'm saying is that if you are comparing someone else's budget to yours, then you're going back to planning someone else's perfect wedding. You are not actually planning your perfect wedding. And it's like comparing apples to oranges, okay? It is so different from person to person. And all of these things, every single vendor, your budget, your priorities, they all need to be customized to you. So instead of comparing your budget, your whatever, your XYZ to other people, instead of finding the average, you need to actually be in a space that helps you figure out what your budget is, what your style is, what your priorities are, so that you can have your own perfect wedding that's customized to you, that gives you complete freedom to have the wedding that you want, regardless of your budget, your style, your vendors, everything else, okay? You need to be in a space that allows you to have your perfect dream wedding instead of trying to fit it in a box. Is that making sense? Put makes sense in the chat if you're driving with this. Woo! Okay, mistake number 3. I'm getting fired up, y'all. Okay. Following the advice of wedding experts because you think they know better than you do. So I know that you've never planned a wedding before. Okay, you have no idea what you're doing, right? So you go to these things to get some help. Maybe you've downloaded the Knot app, maybe Zola, Wedding Wire, maybe you've gotten a really pretty planning binder off Amazon, maybe you're thinking of hiring a wedding planner. And they give you a few tips and tools, right? Like checklists, timelines, budget sheets, all the things. But all they're really doing is actually giving you a generic cookie cutter recipe. For example, if you go to a planner, if you get a planning binder, the checklist is the exact same for you and every other bride. If you go to the Knot app, the budgeting tips and tools are the exact same, regardless of, like, for you and every other bride. And then the timeline, like, I used the Knot app when I was engaged, and I put in my wedding date, and it told me that I was overdue on all these things, and holy cow, it stressed me so much. Because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm overdue on all these things. So it gives you the same timeline regardless if you're getting married in like 3 months or 3 years. And really, it's like you're being given a wedding dress from just off the rack that isn't even altered to you, and the consultant is just handing it to you and say, here you go, hope it fits, good luck. But it's not gonna fit. Like, these things are not gonna give you your perfect dream wedding, because these things have no idea how much money you want to spend. They have no idea what your priorities are. They have no idea how long your engagement is and how much time you have. But who does know those things the best, better than anyone else? Who is the only person who can figure out how much money you want to spend and what your wedding should be? Who is the only person who can figure out which things are most important to you and your fiance? Who is the only person who knows how long your engagement is and how much time you have to plan? Put it in the chat. Who's the only person? You. You are the only one who can figure out what your priorities are. You are the only one who can figure out what the best style is for you. You are the only person who knows what's best for you and your fiance. So then, who is the only person who is the best wedding planner in the entire world for you and your perfect dream wedding? Put it in the chat. You. You are the best wedding planner for your perfect dream wedding. Why? Because you know you and your fiance the best, not the Knot, not Pinterest, not Wedding Wire, not a wedding planner, not your mom, not your mother-in-law, not your sister, like you. You are the only one who knows what's going to fit you perfectly. You are the only person who knows what your perfect dream wedding looks like. No one else can tell you that or decide that for you. They have no idea. So stop doing what other people are telling you to do. Stop doing what Pinterest and the Knot and Facebook and other brides are telling you to do, because who is the only person you should be listening to? Yourself. And this is amazing news for you DIY brides out there. If you are a DIY bride, put DIY in the chat, because this means that you don't have to dish out thousands of dollars to hire a wedding planner to do all this for you. That you can DIY your wedding to your heart's content, because your perfect wedding is the wedding that is made by you. So if you are your perfect wedding planner, then you need to be in a space that guides you on how to do that, that gives you the confidence, that gives you the customized tools and resources and knowledge that you need to feel confident and to step into your bride power. And that space is the Dream Wedding Way, which we're going to talk about later on today. Okay, so right now, you are over here on Nightmare Wedding Island, and you want to get over here to Perfect Dream Wedding Paradise. And there's 3 options. There's 3 options that you can take, okay? So option 1, you stay over here on Nightmare Wedding Island. You put off your planning, you procrastinate because you're so stressed, you don't know where to start, you forget a bunch of stuff, and you have a nightmare wedding. Okay, that's option 1. Option 2 is you try to get over to Perfect Dream Wedding Paradise by yourself, okay? So maybe you swim, maybe you have a boat that you take, but in this water, there are sharks and they want to come get you. And these sharks are stress, not knowing what to do when, the shoulds and expectations of other people, your mom, your mother-in-law, everyone, right? And most likely, the sharks are going to get you and you're going to be stuck in the I wish wedding, where you have a wedding where deep down you know it's not your perfect dream wedding. You might be able to get over to perfect dream wedding paradise, but it's going to be so stressful. That is going to be one hard road, one hard swim for you. But there's a third option, because I have a helicopter that I would love to fly you in, and I would love to take you from Nightmare Wedding Island over to Perfect Dream Wedding Paradise. And on that flight, you're going to have a comfy seat. I'm going to have a mimosa for you, or a margarita, or champagne, whatever your drink of choice is. And we're going to fly over to Perfect Dream Wedding Paradise together through the Dream Wedding Way. So I want to know, do you want to fly over with me using this method that I have created, using this method that so many brides have been able to get their perfect dream weddings with? Put a yes or no in the chat. Okay, I'm already seeing some yeses. Awesome. So the Dream Wedding Way, y'all, this is the only thing that you need to get all your details in place to have the perfect dream wedding. This is the only thing you need that will allow you to actually step into your bride power without guilt, without feeling like you have to apologize, in getting the wedding that you want, planning your wedding your way, okay? So this is how you plan your perfect dream wedding. There's 3 things that we need, 3 steps. So there's priorities, plan, and power. And the first place that we're going to start is actually getting clarity and decluttering all the mess, okay? Getting clarity with your wedding vision and your priorities, because you have absolutely no idea where to start, right? Like right now your brain is a jumbled mess. You have all these ideas, all these pins on your Pinterest board, maybe 1,000 or more. And then there's like what everyone else is telling you to do too, right? And you're either doing all the things and you're getting help from all these places, Pinterest, the planning binder, Facebook groups, Instagram, family and friends, or you're just so overwhelmed as heck with where to start that you just completely avoid it and you haven't done anything yet. But regardless, it is overwhelming. It is so overwhelming. You feel totally out of your element. You feel clueless, right? But it's probably because you haven't done this step. It's probably because you haven't gotten clarity on actually what you should be planning. And I see so many brides who just jump right in to the planning part. But if you don't take the time to find your clarity on what you should be planning and what you should be prioritizing, that is why you are stressed. So if you're already into the planning and you're feeling that stress, did you actually do this step? Or if you're about to go into the planning part, have you done this step yet? So let's declutter this mess, all this clutter, so that you no longer feel like a chicken with your head cut off, okay? And my favorite part of this whole dream wedding way is helping you get clarity on your wedding vision and actually knowing what your priorities are. And this is all about being able to find your voice in all the clutter and all the mess and all the noise. Because you're having a hard time blocking it out. You're having a hard time really discerning, do I really want this? Or do I really want what other people are saying? And in this step, we're going to put you in a space where you can actually block out all of that noise, all of that clutter, and focus on you and your fiance and what's best. So you can figure out what your priorities are. So you can figure out what you actually want. The deep desires that maybe you forgot that you even wanted, and they're going to be able to come to you, and they're going to be so clear. And this step is going to allow you to get clarity on your wedding style. Like, girl, there's an awesome exercise that I have for you in this step, and you're going to remember things that you didn't even that you totally forgot that you wanted. Like maybe you dreamed of these when you were a little girl and you just forgot. Or maybe the world and the expectations got in the way and it just got blocked out, okay? But I want to ask you, how many of you would love for your guest to come to your wedding, to walk around and see the tiniest details and think, oh my gosh, this is so her. This is so them. This is so their relationship. That would be amazing because this wedding is about you and your fiance and your sacred marriage that you are stepping into as husband and wife, and making sure that we infuse you together, that we infuse you and your fiance all throughout this process. That is a must. And that's why we need to start with this step, okay? And it's going to become so much clearer for you. Because if you don't have this clarity, you're going to continue on in this stress. You're going to completely overlook what it is that you want for your perfect wedding, and you're going to get an I wish wedding or a nightmare wedding because you're just so darn confused about what to do and so overwhelmed by all the sharks and what everyone else is telling you. So do you want to keep going as you are, feeling this stress, maybe feeling like you just want to elope so you cannot have to deal with this anymore? Or are you ready to step into your perfect dream wedding? Are you ready to have the biggest smile plastered across your face the entire day and be able to fully step into what God has for your wedding day and for your marriage? So this is Kiana. And before Kiana went through the dream wedding way, she was so lost and overwhelmed. And I remember her, she was telling me, Chelsea, I have no idea where to start. Like, I just have no idea. I am so overwhelmed. I just don't know. And she and her fiance thought that they knew what they wanted. But when they started with the dream wedding way and they went through this method, they went through this process, I remember her saying, oh my gosh, Chelsea, it was like a light bulb went off. She said, we are so much clearer on what we want. Like, we thought we wanted these things, but we really actually want these things. And all of her stress just dissipated. It was the best thing. It made my heart so happy. And this was actually pictures of the wedding. So beautiful. And Emily loved how the dream wedding way allowed her and her future husband, her husband now, to focus on what was most important to them, and that they no longer worried about the shoulds or the expectations, that they got to plan their wedding their way, and they no longer had to apologize for it. She no longer felt guilty or felt selfish, and it was so amazing. Okay, so part 2 that you need to get to your perfect dream wedding, part 2 of the dream wedding way, is plan. So now that you have your priorities and your vision, like you know it like the back of your hand, it is so clear in your mind, you are ready to plan. Woo! So this method though of planning isn't the cookie cutter way that we talked about. This is a customized way that is customized every single step for you. So you have all these questions, right? How do I find my perfect venue? Should I use real or fake flowers? Blah, blah, blah. All the questions. And it is so easy to make this process so darn complicated. Well, I am here to bring simplification. I am here to bring clarity. I am here to bring ease. And that is what the Dream Wedding Way is going to do for you. It is going to break it all down to the T. And I want to take all that complicated stuff that is keeping you from going to perfect dream wedding paradise, and I want to help you simplify it, because I have found the easiest way to find your vendors, to choose your bridesmaids, to get your wedding dress, to create your wedding website. All of the details, I have found the easiest way. And the Dream Wedding Way, it is going to give you the knowledge you need and show you how to plan every single part so that you can step into that confidence of being your perfect wedding planner, okay? And it's going to give you the customized tools that you need, okay? Because this is about us creating a stress-free and simple way. This is about you taking that helicopter straight from point A to point B to your perfect dream wedding without all the sharps, without all the stress, without all the shoulds and expectations. So I have created all of these tools for you to help you. So I want to know, is anyone having timeline trauma right now? Where you're feeling, oh my gosh, I'm so behind, or oh my gosh, like I need to be doing this and this and this, and I feel like I don't have enough time, and what if I don't get everything done in time, and what if it doesn't look good? If you are having that type trauma in the chat, because it's real. The struggle is real with that. But how great would it be to have every single detail customized to you, so that you are never behind on your planning? For example, in the Dream Wedding Way, I have a tool for you in this step where we're going to take the date of your wedding, you're going to put it in, and it is going to give you exactly which tasks and exactly when, with the specific date that you need to have that task done by, a guideline. And I'm not going to give you all these fluffy tasks that you should do, okay? I am not going to give you these tasks, oh, it would be nice if you had them, because I am here to simplify. And I'm here to allow you to have the clarity to know which tasks you actually need to do and which tasks are best for you. I am here to give you a tool, a timeline where you no longer feel that timeline trauma, where you know that you are right on track, okay? Because with the Never Behind checklist and timeline, you need something that plans all those details with the time that you actually have. Not the time that you should have, not the time that you're supposed to have, but the time that you actually have, because the time that you have is the perfect amount of time for us to get to your perfect dream wedding, okay? Gosh, how relieving would it be to stop going around and around in your head, like freaking out about what you should be doing next, or if you're behind on things. You're gonna know with this tool that you're always on track. And when you have a customized plan like this, you can cast aside all these other resources that aren't actually helping, that are just giving you timeline trauma, that are giving you a cookie cutter wedding. And every detail will be through the lens of your perfect dream wedding, where you get a wedding that is perfectly tailored, like perfectly altered just for you. And it is all about designing a wedding that is built for you and your fiance specifically. A wedding that is all your own and that has the two of you written all over it. A wedding that makes you feel comfortable and confident in your wedding decisions, so that you don't have to second guess, so that you don't have to apologize, so that you don't have to doubt if things are going to look good. So Amanda, when she got engaged, she came to me and she was like, Chelsea, I am so bad at making decisions. I am so indecisive. I just want someone to plan this wedding for me, and I just want to show up. I don't want to deal with all of it. But when she started working through the Dream Wedding Way, everything changed. And she was like, Chelsea, I'm actually excited now to plan. Like, I'm excited for all of these things, and I'm excited to make these decisions because I actually know what decisions I need to make. Because she started out feeling totally lost, totally overwhelmed, but the Dream Wedding Way was able to make it fun for her and easy for her, and it allowed her to bring in all those details that she actually wanted, that were really, really special to her and to Nathan, and that made it their wedding and not someone else's. And these are pictures from their wedding. Oh, so drop dead gorgeous. Love it. Okay, so we went through priorities, we went through plan, and now we have power, stepping into your inner bride confidence. Okay, let's just pause. Let's just take a step back for a minute. okay? Because you are so overwhelmed by all of these things right now. What your mother-in-law is saying, your maid of honor, people's opinions, not knowing if things are going to turn out the way you want them to. It's all overwhelming. And yeah, like, you feel drained and you don't know where to start. Maybe your mother-in-law is telling you this, your sister is telling you this. All of that's happening. All of the things. So first, I just want you to breathe. I just want you to breathe. Because I am here to bring you clarity. I am here to bring clarity and to simplify this process so that you have the joy and excitement again that you did when you first got engaged. Or to continue that, if you are still feeling excited. But here is the real problem. Here is the real problem, okay? This is the problem that, because all of these other problems, the overwhelm, the stress, not knowing where to start, all of those are just symptoms to the problem. But that's not the real problem. You want to know what the real problem is? You are not stepping fully into your bride power. The only problem is this right here. You are not claiming your bride power. You are not wearing your bride power crown. Because is this someone else's wedding? Is this your mom's wedding? Is this your sister's wedding? Is this your bridesmaid's wedding? Or is this your wedding? You and your fiance's wedding. Because right now you are focusing on pleasing other people and making other people happy, that you are completely losing sight of yourself, that you are putting them over the perfect union that God is about to create between the two of you. Because it's this thing, listening to other people, not knowing what you actually want, and not getting what you actually want, that is causing all of this planning to be stressful. Because, girl, this is your day to shine. It is your day and no one else's. And inside this step, I am going to be walking you through, helping you to remember that you get to be in the spotlight, helping you break through those things where you feel like you have to apologize for going after the things that you want. Those things in your heart that are in your mind that are making you feel like you're being selfish if you are actually going after your perfect dream wedding and planning your wedding your way. And I have some exercises in this step to help you do that, to help you break through those barriers that you're feeling and those lies, because that is not the truth. And Jesus does not want you to be feeling that way. He wants to shine the truth on that. And he wants you to know that you are worthy to have this day, that you deserve to have this day. He cares so much more about your wedding than you ever could. Isn't that amazing to think about? And if you are feeling in any way right now that you are not worthy to have your dream wedding, that you don't deserve to have your dream wedding, that you haven't gotten anything else good in your life, so why would you get a good dream, a good wedding that you wanted? Like all of those things. That you have to people please your way through it. That in some point, in some part of you, you feel like you have to make other people happy to be worthy of love. If you are already feeling that, or if you feel that in your soul, we're going to dive into that. And we're going to break free so then you feel the complete freedom to go after your perfect dream wedding. And like I said before, if you don't work through this now, how is this going to show up in your marriage? And not just the part of where other people, get into it, or they influence you, or they run over you, because that is true. And it's not that they maliciously want to do it, not at all. But if your parents, if your mother and father-in-law are trying to control you and your future husband and what you do, and you let them, and you don't put those boundaries, you don't put your foot down in a way that you need to, they're going to keep doing it in marriage. They're going to want to determine and control when you have kids. They're going to want to control where you live and control who sees who during holidays. And you need to claim right now that you and your husband, your future husband, that is who it's about. Okay? Because here's what the Bible says. It says about marriage. It is between you and him. It isn't between you and your mom. It isn't between you and his mom. It isn't between you and anybody else. It is you and him. You become one. You leave your father and mother and become one flesh as husband and wife. And it is up to you as his future wife to own that and declare that and protect that and claim the sanctity of that union. It is up to you to be the best wife, the best mother, the best woman of God. And it all starts with you owning your power and stepping into your bride power and owning what God is calling you to be and standing up for your future marriage. It isn't being selfish. Because if you make decisions based on other people, instead of making decisions based on what is best for you and your relationship, then you are not actually honoring God. You are not actually honoring your husband and your marriage. So let's go back to all that noise that we talked about earlier. Everyone else's opinions, people pleasing, all of that. If you don't step into your power and give yourself permission to have the wedding that you want, then is your dream wedding going to happen? No, it's not. You could have the clearest vision of what you want your day to look like. You could have the most customized plan to plan all the details for your perfect dream wedding. But if you are not willing to stand up for yourself, if you still have that block of that you're being selfish or that you aren't worthy or that you don't deserve your day, none of that is going to matter. But when you walk into your bride power, oh my goodness, cue the angels because it is amazing. So Jessica came into the dream wedding way, and she was people pleasing. She ended up buying a dress because other people liked that dress more than she did. And she hated it. She couldn't stop thinking about that other dress. And it was just miserable. Everything wedding planning became miserable for her. She wanted to elope. She was no longer excited. She resented her planning. But when she put on her bride power crown, when she stepped fully into her bride power and declared the union that was about to happen between her and her future husband, it was like night and day. And she became so excited again to plan her wedding. She could not stop looking at decor, and she was so excited for her perfect day and the ideas and what she wanted, all of her dreams that she had pushed down, that she had said, that's not realistic, or other people don't like that she had pushed down, she brought up again. And that's what made her excited. And I want that for you too. Because when you step into your bride power, you are going to take back control of planning your wedding your way. And you're going to take back your excitement. You're going to stop doubting and second guessing and feeling unworthy to have this perfect day. You're going to be able to step fully into the wedding and the marriage that God is calling you to have. So do you want to put on your bride power crown right now? Just put crown in the chat if you want to step into this confidence, because you are going to step into this freedom of feeling like, I can have my perfect dream wedding. I get to have my perfect dream wedding, and I will have my perfect dream wedding. Not, I should do this, I should do that, this is unrealistic, none of that. Okay? With the dream wedding way, you are going to have the confidence to step into that bride power, to take back your control of planning your wedding your way, and to declare that your perfect dream wedding is going to happen. And we're going to create a space for discernment No more shoulds. They completely go away. Like, how amazing would it feel that you no longer have to worry about what other people think or being judged, or for decisions to being so much easier and quicker because you're not going back and forth on, am I doing this for myself or for other people, or is this realistic, or would this look better? None of that, okay? That you no longer feel guilty for any of your decisions that you make, for any of your ideas that you want to do, okay? That you feel the freedom to stop saying yes to other people and start saying yes to yourself and your future husband and for the Lord. So today, we figured out that you are your perfect wedding planner. But I actually want you to feel like your perfect wedding planner. And I want to give you the tools and the knowledge that you need, because that's the only thing that's missing. And these are going to take you to the next level of your perfect planner self and have that confidence, okay? Because right now you have no idea where to start. You never planned a wedding before. You don't have the help that you want. Like, everyone is telling you what you should do. It's overwhelming you. It's frustrating you. It's so much noise you can't even hear yourself think. But I am here to make all of this planning easier and less dramatic and less stressful, so that you can actually say yes to you instead of yes to everyone else. And you want to feel like you're on top of your planning process, but right now you feel incredibly behind on everything. You feel all over the place. Your Pinterest board is crazy. Your mother-in-law, your sister, your bridesmaids, they have you going in 5 million different directions. And your poor fiance, he's just over here trying to love you the best he can, but he doesn't know how to help. He doesn't know what to say. He just says, whatever you want, babe, and goes out with the guys to play his games. And maybe you've looked into hiring a wedding planner, but it's out of your budget. And listen, just because you don't have a wedding planner does not mean that you need to lower your standards for your perfect day, okay? Because I know that all you want to do is create your stress-free, easy, smooth, perfect day, the day that you have dreamed about, the day you get to glorify the Lord in this union that you are creating. But this is what's really going on. You have this doubt deep down that you aren't good enough, that you aren't worthy, that you don't deserve to have your dream wedding. And you have this belief that you need to people please your way through this, and you do not. You are overwhelmed with creating this perfect day with all these expectations so that it's perfect for everyone else, but what about for you? What about what you want? What about what's best for you and your fiance? And today I want to give you a space that's going to give you that perfect day. I want to show you how you can still DIY your wedding and be your perfect planner and save a whole heck of a lot of money. And I have the tools that you need that is going to get you there without all of the stress of doing it yourself. And I want you to not only know that you're worthy and that you're good enough and that you deserve your dream wedding, but I want you to believe that deep down from the bottom of your soul. Because sometimes it is so much easier to know something, but it is so much harder to actually believe it. I want to give you what you need to step into your bride power with no holding back. I want to give you everything you need to have the confidence to be your perfect wedding planner, because no one else in the entire world can give you your perfect dream wedding except you. And I want you to step into what God is calling you to be as a bride and as a future wife, so that you can say yes to you and your future husband instead of yes to everyone else and actually putting them above your marriage. And this is exactly what the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge is for. It is open for enrollment. I am extending each and every one of you my personal invitation to join today. I am so excited to help you plan all of the details that you need to have your perfect dream wedding, to step into your bride power, and to not apologize for what you want, okay? So if you cannot stay until the end, I'm going to put up a button on the side. You should see it, a blue button. You can click that. You can choose either a pay in full plan at a discount, or you can choose a payment plan. I would love to have you in there. So if you can't stick around though, I would love to have you still so I can show you a bird's eye view of exactly what you're going to get inside the planning lounge. So there are 3 parts that you get, okay? The Dream Wedding Way, which that is the entire method that I just walked you through during this training, the priorities, plan, and power. This is what every single bride has used of all the testimonials that you saw today, they use the Dream Wedding Way, okay? I'm going to give you my tools, my resources, all of my knowledge for you at your fingertips, short little videos walking you through every single little thing, okay? Then you also get support and you get the Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist if you join today. So let's go through the Dream Wedding Way. The proven method, this is the priority. So declutters, simplifies, clarifies your wedding vision so that everything goes together beautifully, so that you don't have to doubt if you chose the wrong colors or the wrong decor or whatever, okay? It's going to plan your wedding that is 100% unique and customized to you. Not what everyone else wants, but what you and your fiance want and what is best for you and the Lord. And you're going to claim your bride power. You're going to step into that bride power so that you actually have complete freedom and permission on having your wedding your way and having your perfect dream wedding. So the second part is support. And as soon as you join, you are going to be invited. You'll have the link. Oh my gosh, there we go. You'll have the link to join the private Facebook group. So this is only for the brides that are in the planning lounge. And we call it the Dream Wedding Sisterhood because it is a community of brides who love Jesus and who want their perfect dream wedding. And we are here to hold you accountable and to encourage you in your planning and hold you accountable to step into your bride power and to honor the Lord and honor your future husband with all of your decisions instead of saying yes to everyone else. And it's going to feel so weird. Like when you get into that dream wedding way, when you start going through the lessons and the videos and all of that, have the Facebook group, you're going to be so excited and it's going to feel way easy. And so I want you to use this Facebook group to ask any questions that you have, to get my expertise, because I charge $6,000 for my one-on-one services. If you were to hire me as a full wedding planner, you get my knowledge, my expertise, my encouragement, my resources, all of it for a fraction of the cost, which we'll go over in just a minute. In this Facebook group, you can have access to me 24/7, okay? And then the last thing, the fast action bonus, the Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist. My SF being so difficult. Okay. The Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist. If you join today, the planning lounge, you will get this fast action bonus. My favorite thing in the entire planning lounge. So you can get started today for just $67. There are 2 payment plans that you can do. You can either pay in full for a one-time payment of $347. You can save $55. Or you can do a payment plan. So there's 6 payments of $67 each. When you click that button on the side, you can choose your payment plan and then you can join. So I want to ask you, if you knew 100% that you would have your perfect dream wedding, that you would have every single detail planned, that you actually felt worthy and good enough to have your wedding the way that you wanted to, what would that be worth to you? Like, what would that change for you? And if you think that the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge is just a space to talk about how to plan a wedding and get clarity on a wedding and all of that, it is so much more. Because yes, we do all those things. Yes, we go through all the details because we need to do that to make sure that you have your perfect wedding. But I love how the brides in the planning lounge realize how much bride power work we do, how much heart work we do, and soul searching, and really allowing Jesus to come in and flood our minds and our hearts with the truth on what he is wanting for us and what he has in store for us. And it is so life-changing, y'all. And it impacts how you are as a woman, not just as a bride, not just as like the wedding that you are going to get, but also as a future wife. And it's going to change how you go into your marriage, and it's going to change your relationships in your life and your relationship with the Lord. And God does not call us to do anything alone. He wants to take the burden of planning off your shoulders. And girl, you are here for a reason. You are here at this training today for a reason, because he's calling you and he's nudging you to get the help that you need. And just like Emily, she was able to step into being able to do what she and her fiance, her husband now, wanted to do, and to plan their wedding their way and know what was most important to them. Kiana, who was completely overwhelmed when she started, and she thought that she knew what she wanted, but it was totally different, and she had so much clarity after. It was like a light bulb went off. And then Amanda, who didn't want to like deal with any of the decisions, and she actually enjoyed making the decisions and had her perfect dream wedding, and it was so fun and exciting for her. And then Jessica, who just put her foot down, who claimed her bride power, and who went from resenting her wedding and her wedding planning to enjoying it, and she couldn't stop looking at decorations and planning her perfect dream wedding. So this is a screenshot of your wedding workspace that you will get inside the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge, okay? So as you can see, there's different sections. The very first thing is stepping into your bride power, then we go on to decluttering and then planning. In each of these things, there are short little videos, all my resources, you have the planning group. I am so excited to have you in here. And, oh my gosh, I can see some of you already joining. I am so excited. Y'all, this is going to be so huge because you are not only doing this for your wedding day, but you are doing this for the rest of your life and for your future husband. So excited to have you in the planning lounge. I can't wait. Okay, we made it to the timer. So there's a 15-minute timer here. When I start it, that is how much time you have to join the planning lounge today to get the absolutely nothing missed checklist, okay? So I'm gonna move this over here. There we go. I'm gonna start the timer. So right now is a great time to ask any questions that you have, whether planning questions or questions about the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge. So if you have a question, just type it in the chat box, press enter, and I will make sure that I get to it. So just to clarify, these 15 minutes is not how much time you have to join the planning lounge, okay? You will have a few days after today to join. The offer will expire in just a few days, but you just won't get the absolutely nothing missed checklist, okay? All right, I'm seeing some questions. Woo! Okay, how long are the videos in the planning lounge? Because I'm ADD, LOL. Totally feel you on that. So as you guys know, I am all about simplifying and making this process as easy as possible for you. So these videos are like less than 10 minutes each, okay? There are some that are a little longer, like videos for finding your vendors, things like that. But most of them are between like 3 minutes to 10 minutes, okay? Are the videos able to be played more than once? Because with my job, I'm not always able to do things at the time I'm supposed to do them with the way my job is, LOL. Yeah, definitely those jobs, man. Yeah, like with all the videos in your wedding workspace, in your private portal that you'll get, yes, you can replay those suckers as long as possible. And, yeah, so, yep, you can play them however much. What if I have my venue and a couple vendors already booked? Yeah, totally still join, because this planning lounge is going to help you with getting all the rest of your vendors, help you finalize all the details, all of that, okay? So if you already have your venue and a couple vendors booked, this is still for you. Does that answer your question? How long do I get the planning lounge for? Yes, excellent question. So you get it forever. You get it for your entire engagement, okay? So the wedding workspace, like, it doesn't expire at all. The videos don't expire. You get that forever. There's no expiration date. With the same for the private Facebook group, okay? So you get access to that group 24/7, every day, every month, every year of your engagement, okay? And when you get married, you can either choose to stay in the Facebook group to help other brides and encourage them, or you can leave, but it's your preference. But I always like it when my married brides stay, because it's a whole vibe up in that group, and we get really close with each other. If I join now, can I cancel and then join later? So great question. So this is like, think of it as like if you're buying, you're wedding dress, okay? So this is a specific product that you are buying. It is not a membership or a subscription or anything like that. So you just buy the product. You can either do the pay in full plan or you can do the payment plan, but you get the same product. It's the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge. So there's like no way that you can cancel your payments. If you choose the payment plan, the 6 payments of $67 each, you cannot cancel that, okay? So you are committed to paying 6 months of those $67 payments. Does that answer your question? Does that make sense? So do I get you as a day of coordinator too? I wish. That'd be awesome. Man, $347 for a coordinator? Wow. No, unfortunately not. However, I do offer day of coordination. So if that is something that you'd like to add on in the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge, you totally can, or you can reach out to me. But this is not included in the lounge, okay? Will you be finding my venue and caterers and stuff for me? Yeah, so I will walk you through with my videos the easy, simple vendor process, okay, that I have come up with, that I have found, that I use, that my brides have used, all that. So that is going to show you exactly what to do, where to find them, how to find them, the questions that you need to ask them, what you need to look for on their websites and their reviews, all of that. But let's say if you're in a small town, okay, and you're having a hard time, that's what the Facebook group is for. The sky is the limit with what you can ask me for help with, okay? So you can just go in the Facebook group and say, Chelsea, I'm having a really hard time finding a venue, or I'm having a really hard time finding a caterer, and I'm going to help you, okay? I am in this with you. You are not alone. That is what the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge is for. I do not want you to be alone in this, okay? So yes, I will help you find your vendors. Now, I won't reach out to them for you. I won't email them for you. I won't call them or anything like that for you, but I will help you find them if you are having a hard time, okay? I'm planning on getting married in 2 years. Would this be something beneficial to join now, or would it be better to wait until the date gets closer? Join now. Oh my gosh, I have so many brides and see so many brides who wait and think, oh, it's too early to plan. No, 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 no. It is not too early. It is never too early to start planning. So join now so you get the planning lounge for all of those months, okay? Definitely join now. And it's better too because the planning lounge, you are going to get the most from this planning lounge when you have done the least amount of planning, okay? So when you jump in and you get my help right away and I can help you with everything, it's going to be awesome. You're going to save so much money and so much hair and so much stress. Yes, so join now. Yeah, is it just, okay, do you help me with vendors and venues that are in big cities or also cities that are in smaller areas too? Yeah, like what I mentioned before. So my method is for all cities, both big and small. But if you are still having a hard time finding those venues, finding those vendors, let me know in the Facebook group, okay? Let me know in the Facebook group. All right, y'all have 7 minutes and 47 seconds left to snag the Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist. And this, honestly, is my favorite resource of mine that I have made. And it is so great, when brides use it and they have checked off all of those things, and when you get to the last check mark, it's you know that you have everything. So this is really, really good. So 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to snag that today. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm seeing so many more people join. I am so excited. Linda has joined. Jessica has joined. Awesome. Brittany has joined. I am so excited to have you guys in the planning lounge. So actually, since you guys are joining, I want to tell you what to look for and what to expect. So you're going to get 2 emails from me, okay? One email is going to have your username and your password to get into your wedding workspace to access all the tools and resources and videos and all of that, okay? So be on the lookout for that. It should be from Teachable, and you can get access to that right away. The second email is going to be from me, and it's going to give you all the steps that you need to take, like the Facebook group it will have for you to go and request to join the group. And I will get you in there as soon as possible. And yeah, so you'll find those 2 emails and you can get started right away, which is so exciting. Okay. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to snag the Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist. Keep your questions coming, ladies. Woo woo! Where will I find the Absolutely Nothing Missed checklist once I join? Great question. So if you join within 5 minutes and 53 seconds, then you will see it automatically in your wedding workspace. Okay, so in the wedding workspace, so it's broken out into different sections. So the very first section that we go to is actually being able to step into your bride power. We are going to work through all of those blocks of you not feeling worthy enough, not feeling good enough, feeling like you have to earn other people's love, all of that. And so then you actually feel the freedom and permission to have your perfect dream wedding the way that you want to. So that's going to be in the first section. Then the second section is all about like decluttering, prioritizing, getting clarity on your dream wedding and your vision, okay? Then the following section is plan, okay? And it's broken out into, I think, 4 or 5 sections because there are so many details to plan. But I have it like a table of contents, okay? So when you're looking at your wedding workspace, you see the title of each of those things. So like wedding website, choosing your bridesmaids, wedding registry and RSVPs, bridal shower, honeymoon, wedding rehearsal, things like that. So it's just, you can go to that section and it's really easy to jump around. It's really easy to navigate. Yeah. Did I answer the question? Yes. So then at the end, so there's going to be resources sprinkled throughout those sections that apply to that specific topic, like that specific lesson. So like in the budget lesson, I give you the budget PDF that I have. In the second, like the plan section, I give you the digital wedding planner, which is where, this is awesome, but this is where you're going to keep everything, vendors, details, phone numbers, budget, your timeline, your checklist, all of that. That's where you're going to find the never behind checklist and timeline, okay? Is in that digital wedding planner. So those resources will be sprinkled throughout, but then at the end, at the bottom of the wedding workspace, you'll see a resource hub or a resource library, and I have put all of the resources in there for you. So if you're like, oh, I need this resource, but I can't quite remember which section it was in, you can just go to that resource library and find it there. Oh, what if I'm getting married in less than 2 months? Yes. Well, it depends. Do you have almost everything planned? Because if you do, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that you join the planning lounge. This planning lounge is specifically for brides that haven't started their planning or have just gotten into the planning, maybe have their venue, a couple vendors. But if you were just tying up those loose ends, like it will definitely help you tie up those loose ends, but you just won't be using the majority of the program, if that makes sense. But if you still want to join, be my guest. I would love to have you and make sure that you have all those nitty-gritty little details that you might forget wrapped up. But I just want to be transparent in that, okay? 2 minutes and 26 seconds left. Oh, and so many more have joined. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Welcome to the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge. Go ahead, when you get that email, when I accept you into the Facebook group, please make a post. Tell us how you got engaged. Tell us where you are in your wedding planning. So excited. I can't wait to help you guys. This is going to change your lives. It really, really is. And I might sound dramatic, but it is so true. It is so true. If I don't join today, can I join later? Yes. If you join later, you'll miss the fast action bonus, but you can join later. Okay, so I think the cart is open like 3 days until the offer goes away. Don't quote me on that, but you will get emails after this training that will give you inside information. Like I'll actually take you on a backstage tour of the wedding workspace, show you exactly what you get inside the Facebook group, all of that. So be on the lookout for those emails, and that's where you can join the planning lounge after today if you don't join today. Can I talk with my fiance about it first? Of course. Yes, of course. Please do. Like, pray about it. I only want you guys to join if you are feeling completely confident and if you are ready to step into your bride power, if you are ready to hear what the Lord has to say about how you are worthy and you don't have to do the right things or make the right decisions or do things perfectly to get other people's love. Like, I'm so excited for that. But please pray about it. The doors will be open for a few days. You can join the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge through those emails. But yes, only join if you feel like God is calling you, okay? All right, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Let me just make sure that I got all of the questions. Okay, I think that's it. I'm so sorry if I missed any of your questions. But y'all, I am so excited. Like, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I want you to know that you deserve to have an amazing wedding, and you deserve to have the wedding that you have dreamed of, and for all these days and months and years, and to stop worrying every day that you're missing something, or to stop trying to figure it out on your own. And if you want a wedding that you enjoy every single part of, where it's you and your fiance and your family and your friends, and you have so much joy and there is nothing that you would want to change about it, I want to help you. And that is through the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge. So I cannot wait for those of you who continue to join. I am so excited for those who have already joined. It is going to be so great. I am so excited. I love you all. I am praying for you. And I can't wait to see how your perfect dream weddings end up. So, thank you for hanging out with me today. And I will see you guys inside the Dream Wedding Planning Lounge. Bye.